Wake up, Jacob. All right. This is not a brand new story, but if you check the description box below, you can see a link to it though, because this is interesting, especially for oh man, it's like taking a shot at the ladies, and I don't mean to, but I was reading it, and I feel like I must share. Just kind of get a little insight into the type of things that I look at when I'm not working. But yeah, it says a study. Uh, Women store DNA from every man they've ever made love with. That is the title of this article here. This is, yeah. So, the whole Chase version thing, okay? So it says women harvest every male's DNA according to a new study. Okay, women retain and carry living DNA from every man with whom they have sexual intercourse. This bombshell discovery has been unearthed during a brand new study by the University of Seattle and the French Hutchinson Cancer Research Center. The scientific study actually discovered the shocking information by accident. Scientists were initially attempting to identify whether ladies who were pregnant with a son are more susceptible to specific neurological illnesses that take place more regularly in males. But as the scientists picked apart the female brain, the research study began to drift hugely off course. It says women harvest DNA. Wow, just that right there. I mean, we have some Israelite brothers and stuff out there that say that women have this. They have other men's DNA, swimming around with them, that they feel like um, causes them to have different personality or take on a male spirit. Shalom, shalom, brother House of Lee and Frank Stockton. Shalom, brothers. I had to pop on here. I was looking at this article, and it's in the description box as well. And basically, it says that women harvest DNA. They harvest or retain some of the DNA of every man they make love to. Ooh, I'm gonna continue the article. Okay, what they actually found, however, is that yes, exactly. It's called similar to what you just said, but yeah, Michael, yeah. That's what it is. It's a microchimerism, right? Microchimerism, right? And it says microchimerism is the presence of a small number of cells that originate from another individual and are therefore genetically distinct from the cells of the host individual. So she keeps that inside her. That's why women are made for one person, one man. Women are made for one man. Okay, it says what they actually found, however, is that the female brain is more complex than we previously believed. The research study found that female brains typically harvest male microchimerisms. Or, to put it simply, they found the existence of male DNA that stemmed from other individuals. Okay, exactly, become one flesh, exactly. And so, a woman sleeping around, that is a problem. These cells are genetically unique from those that make up the host female. Okay, according to the research, the study reports 63% of females ages 37 to 59 tested harbored male microchimerism in the brain. Male microchimerism was present in multiple brain regions. Okay, so 63% of women carry that live in their brains. Clearly, the scientists wanted to know where the male DNA originated from. Perhaps you would naturally assume it was inherited from the woman's father. Nope. Your father's DNA integrates with your mother's to create the special DNA. So, where else could it have come from? Though the study, Through the study, the researchers presumed that the most likely answer was that male DNA found living in the female brain came from a male pregnancy. That was the safe, politically correct assumptions. However, these researchers were living in denial. Exactly. Since when they conducted an autopsy, the brain of the ladies who had actually never ever even been pregnant, not to mention with a male kid, they still discovered male DNA cells common in the female brain. At this point, the scientists were baffled. Despite their confusion, they did their best to cover up the proof up until they could understand and discuss it. They buried it in various sub studies and posts, but if you sort through them all, you will find the damning declaration. There's one line that gives the game away and describes precisely where these male DNA cells originate from. What are they so afraid of? Conclusion: male microchimerisms was not irregular in females without sons. Besides known pregnancies, other possible sources of male microchimerism included unrecognized spontaneous abortion, disappeared male twin, and older sibling transferred by the maternal blood circulation or sexual intercourse. Okay, male microchimerism was substantially more frequent and levels were greater in ladies with induced abortion than in women with other pregnancy histories. Another one. More research studies are needed to figure out specific origins of male microchimerism in women. So, according to the scientists, the possible sources of the male DNA cells residing in a woman's brain are an abortion that females were unaware of, a male twin that disappeared, an older sibling transferred by the maternal flow, sexual intercourse. Yeah, if we employ what's called Occam's razor, meaning the simplest solution is probably the solution, or the simplest answer is probably the answer. Yeah, sexual intercourse is the answer. When they find 67% of women from ages 37 to 59, all those women had an abortion and was unaware of it. All of them had a male twin that disappeared. All of them had older siblings that transferred by the maternal flow. Come on now. Come on. Let's use some critical thinking here. Or was it possible that all of them had sexual intercourse with more than one man? Yeah, I'll let you decide. Okay, is it thinking about the reality that 63% of the women have male DNA cells living in the recesses of their brain? Which of the above possibilities do you think is the most likely origin of the male DNA? The first three alternatives use a very little portion of the ladies. They could not potentially represent the 63% figure. Of course, the fourth choice is rather more typical: sex. They said this has crucial ramifications for females. I'm sorry. I'm just reading the article. It's in the comment section. Okay, it's in the description box. And it says DNA stays with women for life. Every male you absorb sperm from becomes a living part of you for life. The women autopsied in this studies were elderly. Okay, so they had a lifetime of sex. Some have been carrying the living male DNA inside them for well over 50 years. Sperm is alive. It is living cells. And that is the conclude. Well, just about. I'm not going to read them. I'm going to go ahead and stop here. So, you remember when we were younger and, women would, they have this funny math. They have this weird math where, if you dare ask them how many sexual partners they've been with, and they get to calculating in their brain, and then they start to X off the ones that they say didn't count because it was maybe, let's say, short-lived, or was not enjoyable, or all the little ways they discount and bring that number down. Yeah, according to science, it counts. So, depends on how far you want to take the study. Now, obviously, this is a, cursory research. I came across the article. Does it merit looking any further, any deeper? I mean, I guess so. And I'm pretty sure that a lot of the ladies are going to look further and go deeper in the hopes that it's not true. But for the sake of this live stream, if it is true, ladies, it all counts. Who you sleep with counts. Whether you enjoyed it or not, it counts. It doesn't matter. It counts. So you have to value what you have because it counts. And that's why biblically, this we bring it back to the Bible, that's why biblically virgins were counted as more worthy or worth the bride price. That's why. They didn't have what we call today baggage. They don't have nearly as much baggage, almost none, but nearly as much baggage. Whereas those who had experience, there's gonna be some baggage. There's gonna be some baggage. So it all counts. Now look, you haven't seen me on my videos saying, oh, this is why you got multiple personalities, because you have so many men inserted in you and da da da. You don't hear me saying that. However, if this article had any credence whatsoever, okay, and they did it from a couple of universities too, if this article have any credence whatsoever, then it's not a far cry to believe. It's not a far cry to believe that, hey, you're gonna have some issues if you sleep with a lot of. I mean, first of all, it's unseemly. You shouldn't sleep around like that. But you're gonna have some problems. There's gonna be some issues. That person lives in you forever. This is why people say soul ties. This is why they say that. And just like, Brother Hasali, the two becomes one. You become assimilated in more ways than one. You become assimilated to your husband, big time, on a deep, deep level. And I was looking at it, humorously at first, but I'm also saying, we got to consider, the ramifications of this whole thing. Hasali said a woman is an extension of her. Yes, absolutely. A woman is an extension of her husband, and it's really a beautiful thing the way the Most High intended for us to assimilate and become one. Absolutely, that's what I was saying. Frank Stockton, he says that's why they say women are internal lover and men are external lovers, because they absorb the DNA. Exactly. Nabi Crown. Shalom, brother. Shalom. So, I just wanted to drop that in there real quick for you guys, brother. I mean, that's, hey, women, you are made for one man. One man. When you look at the New Testament, it says, when they talk about the widow, and they said that she should be that she should be a widow indeed, meaning she was the husband of one. I mean, she's the wife of one man, right? Had children, teaching the younger to be chase keepers at home and things like that. Love their children, love their husband, and all that. But you see what I'm saying? So you cannot. The way we do it today, I'm not saying so much in the truth, where it should not be so in Israel. I want to say that as a quick aside. But before we were in the truth, so BT, before truth, before we're in the truth, what did we do? Everyone was just bed hopping. Everyone just bed hopping. It didn't matter. Half the time you end up, you dating someone, and then they have their overnight bag, and then all of a sudden they're there for 2 days, 3 days, 3 months, 4 months, and all of a sudden we're in situationships. So it's just crazy. We didn't care. It just kind of, let's just see what happens. Where in Israel, all the relationships are intentional. We didn't just, there's no test of water. Let's just see what happens. They made commitments or they didn't. The ones who didn't, it was folly in Israel. Okay? So, I agree with you, brother. Hasali, all the women need to know this. Okay? All of them need to kind of dig into this and say, wait a minute. Okay, scientifically, wait a minute. Every man I sleep with, I will carry him within me for the rest of my life. Think about that for a second. Think about that. Now, when someone's spouting out, a Hebrew teacher or something like that, or a pastor or whatever, and they're spouting out, they're saying that, hey, you got all these men inserted in you, and it's just wicked, and you got split personality and all this other stuff. Okay, it sounds crazy until you back it up with science. Now, again, I admit, I just came across this article. Okay, I admit, I just came across the article. I read it. I wanted to share it. It may bear deeper investigation, but at the outset, consider the ramifications. Consider the ramifications. It says, Hasali said, if they knew this, they might not have taken so many chances. Exactly. And before you get upset, because it's like we're dogging on women, so I'm saying to any woman who's watching right now, before you get upset, before you get mad, oh boy, there they go, ragging on women again. Oh, first of all, I'm not. Second of all, I'm sharing it because I want you to be aware, and I want you to share with other women so that they're aware, and definitely share with the younger women so they can prize and value themselves. Okay? All right? Now, the other thing, the other reason is because we have to raise the standard in Israel. We got to do better than what we were before we came into the truth. So we're not. I'm not ragging on females or anything like that. It's something that the ladies need to know. We all need to know that. We all need to know this. It counts. When you sleep with someone, you got to be way more selective. Okay, way more selective and way more committed. Okay, no more testing the waters. You're gonna do it or you're not. Okay. Okay. So we just gonna yeah, really, yeah, because it says it's in the brain. It said, yeah, so wow, that is something though. If it's true, it lives in the brain. Shalom, shalom. At here, C. Shalom, shalom, shalom. Ray Womack. But yeah, that is something. But like I said, it bears some investigation. Bears some investigation. But just consider for a moment. Just consider that for a moment. Now I know most women they're not gonna want this to be true. Okay, I don't know. Like I said, so no one say, oh well, he's Israelite prepper. He's just getting out there spreading out false information. I'm saying do your own due diligence. Check it out. Check it with science. Check it with other studies. Go to university studies and stuff. Go check that out. Okay, check that out. A blog or something is probably not going to do it. So check university studies just to make sure. Do your own your own due diligence. But I'm just saying the reason why I'm talking about it now is because I'm saying consider the ramifications. Consider that for just a second. If that is true, wow. If it is true, wow. So what can I say? Now, I already said, it came from a couple of universities. Might want to get a few more references, and you go from there. But my goodness, they don't look good on our sisters. They don't look good. So yeah, we need to be more selective. Now, obviously, being chaste, not having a long laundry list of men, a revolving door, that's not good anyway. Okay, you should be teaching against that anyway. Okay, so keep that in mind when you go to try to disprove and stuff like that. Keep in mind, don't inadvertently tell women, well, no, it's okay, you can have 30, 40, 50 guys. I mean, it's no big deal, that's cool. Be careful. So that's all I'm saying. So no, I don't know, I just thought it was kind of shocking. I'm like, wow, look at that. Oh, House of Colette, what's going on? Shalom, shalom, my brother. Oh, I saw your video earlier, and it was good. It was good. No, I put an article in this particular live stream. I put an article below, and it was just kind of shocking a little bit. It had two sources, two university studies, but in short, it was saying that a man's DNA stays in a woman. Okay, stays in a woman. Now, some people may dispute and say, well, I don't know if sperm can do that and all that, but I don't know. I'm just reading the study. I'm not the author of the article or the study. So that is that's crazy. I was just having everyone consider the implications if indeed it is true. Okay. Again, I say you check the veracity and the verity of the article, but I'm just bringing it to you. I'm a purveyor of information. That's it. That's all I can tell you. So, ladies, best case scenario, true or not true. Keep yourself for your husband. That's best case scenario. Keep yourself for your husband. Now, that's fine if you were married before. That's okay. That's fine. But don't go testing the water over and over and over. Okay? Don't go testing the water over and over and over. Be chaste. Be pure. I meet a woman and she's like, well, Well, I was married before. Okay, that doesn't disqualify you. That's cool. And she said, well, I've been single, the last 5 years. Okay, nobody, no dating, no nothing. Last 5 years. That's good news. That's good. Okay, that's a good thing. I don't want you just broke up last week. Okay, who wants that? Don't want that. Nobody wants that trouble. So so you're not disqualified in that sense. But trust me, yeah, your list should, you know, if I'm honest, technically you should have one. You're supposed to move from your father's house to your husband's house, and that's your husband for the rest of your life, unless he dies, and then you can remarry. So the list should be short, unless you're just picking guys and they're just dying back to back to back to back. But yeah, that list should be really, really short, guys, ladies. So, not picking or anything, but I'm just saying, I'm just putting it out there. Consider it, consider it, consider it. Besides, you got to value yourself more than that anyway. And one last point, ladies. Let's just be honest. Nobody else is looking. There's nobody else around. It's just me and you. It's just me and you. Think back. Are there any men that you regret? Are there any situations with a man that if you had to do it all over again, you make a different decision? You see? Yeah. That's all I'm saying. Okay, so let's be a little bit more selective, be a little bit more intentional in our relationships, and do our due diligence. Because the Hebrew way, it is assimilation and submitting. It's under patriarchy. It should be for the long haul. Should be for the long. That's it. If you're not in a relationship, technically your next relationship should be your last. Peradventure, death. It's death. But other than that, it should be your last. You should have that mindset. My next one is my last one. You should at least have that mindset. Okay? So, Anyway, that's all I got. You guys check out the article. I'll put it in the description box below. Wake up, Jacob. This is Israelite Prepper, and I'm going to see you guys on the